Hello and welcome back to the Phil Show podcast. This is Philip, your host, your captain of the ship. And today, this is episode 12 of the Phil Show podcast. And we're finally back, baby. Yeah, we're finally back. We're finally back. Yeah. After 2 months, I don't know why Creed was singing the intro song here, but we're finally back. After 2 months, and I don't know why it has to take 2 months to finally go back to the Phil Show podcast, but here we are. It is what it is, and I love just going back to the podcast format and talk whatever we feel like it, man. That's what this podcast is all about. Just having a water cooler talk whatever we want and feel like it, right? And so the topic for today is something probably less than 1% of you are gonna think, yes, finally something I'm finally interested in. Yeah. And then the 99.9% of you guys are like, okay, what the fuck? What the fuck is this shit, man? So that's the way it is. And so the topic for today is platform fighters and the return of it. And the reason why I want to talk about platform fighters and the return of it, because of the game called Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. It came out recently at 5 October. It has been released. It's out there for a while now, but it's still, I feel like the topic is still marinating, and there's a lot to talk about still. So the reason I want to talk about is because Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I love Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I have a great nostalgia for this game. Even though I'm currently not playing it a lot, I did play it. I really loved that game. I really love platform fighters and everything it represents. But recently, well, actually a while ago, it came to a closure. Mr. Sakurai finally released his final character, which was Sora. And it was a beautiful trailer. The trailer of showing the final release, the final character that's going to come in the game made me kind of emotional. And even though I don't play the game often, or currently I'm not playing it, I still think about everything what this game represents, everything what it represents to the community and to the people who made their lives out of this game. And the game is kind of special in that way. The game had always something for everyone. It had something from every kind of game that you enjoyed or had a nostalgia for. Every kind of characters fighting each other. That was beautiful. And people made their lives out of it. And everything what this game represents is beautiful to me. And anything that comes to a closure is kind of, it's going to make me emotional, regardless of how much I played it. And it's also a beautiful trailer, man. It's beautifully crafted, and I think Sora was the perfect character for it. I mentioned it came to a closure, but it doesn't mean that it's the end of everything. Because the door might close for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, but a new door opens for Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. And I think that game has a lot of potential. I know there are other platform fighters out there. Let's say like Slap City, you have your Brawlhalla, you have your Rivals of Aether. And I don't think personally from an anecdotal standpoint that those games really got really popular, but it could be my own personal experience. But I do think Nickelodeon All Star Brawl can be very popular because I see a lot of potential in it. But the way I think they're going to succeed is because of the developers. The reason I think it has a lot of potential is because it has a lot of the same principles like Super Smash, that it takes the nostalgia of the player. You used to play like older Nintendo games, and that's why everyone can enjoy the game in their own way, right? Whether you played Super Mario Brothers, Kirby games, you played Donkey Kong, or if you're a fucking boomer, you played Mr. Game & Watch, right? In that way, it evokes a kind of a nostalgia and has something for everyone. In a similar way, Nickelodeon All Star Brawls is doing the same thing, but with cartoons, Nickelodeon cartoons. Who doesn't have some sort of nostalgia for cartoons that they watched as a kid, right? For me, it was Ren and Stimpy. For other people, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Avatar, you name it. And seeing them fight each other in a similar way Super Smash Bros. Did, it's going to evoke the same kind of similar feeling, and that's why I think there's a lot of potential. The beauty about Super Smash Bros. As well was like you could see Mario beat the living shit out of Peach. Now you can see SpongeBob beat the living shit out of Patrick, right? You can see Aang fight a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. You can see Ren and Stimpy fart someone into oblivion. I mean, this is amazing. And because there's a lot of cartoon characters that can be used, it's going to be awesome. In a similar way, I think that game has a lot of potential to grow and be a really, really cool game. From what I've seen, I haven't played it so far, but just from what I've seen, the game is really smooth, plays super fast, and I love that fast-paced fighting. Everything about the game mechanics look like there's a lot of depth into it. Now, the other part where I think it's going to succeed really well is because of developers. And when you have developers that are really listening to the player base, the community, give what they want, listen to feedback and improve constantly on their game. But also, you're always going to have the difference between casual and hardcore. In the Super Smash Bros., you always had this intense community that has a lot of passion, especially in the esports, the hardcore part of the Super Smash Bros., right? There's a lot of intensity, a lot of passion. And I felt like Nintendo always had kind of ignored that part. And so when a new studio comes out with a new platform fighter and it's really listening to the community and really going into that passion, and I think you cannot ignore that. And it's also going to help for the longevity of the game and your business as well. I think that's a good move. I think that's a good move, and that's why I see a lot of potential in it. What I really think is really cool, the big differentiating part about Nickelodeon All Star Brawls is that you're now playing with cartoon characters. I know Super Smash Bros. Had like different characters with different styles, and you had that wacky clash of different characters. But now with cartoon characters, you can really see how wacky all of these movesets are. That's what I love. Cartoon characters don't abide by laws of physics. They're not based on realism. So all these movesets are going to be super goofy, super wacky. A thing that developers also mention is that like every move of the characters is like a reference to some kind of episode. And just seeing this game right now being played by professionals is the most wacky, goofy, weird thing I've ever seen in the best way possible, because you have the highest velocity of this game, and plus the goofy random movesets that each character has, and it's so chaotic in the best way possible. One example I can mention is like, in platform fighters when characters can hang off a ledge or do this hang off the edge of the platform, right? The way SpongeBob does that, for example, is by hanging on the ledge for his dear life with his heels. His heels hangs on the ledge while he's upside down trying to balance. I mean, just looking at that is the weirdest sight I've ever seen. And then you have things like Nigel Thornberry in the game. Nigel Thornberry's moves is like, he has one move where he flies like a fucking bird downwards. He pecks like a woodpecker with his nose. He evades attacks. He does the dash thing in the air like a worm. He has like a Thanos snapping, and then he sends you into oblivion. A similar move like Jigglypuff in Super Smash Bros. I believe it was called Arrest. I'm not familiar with the jargon, the professional jargon within the community, but I believe it was called Arrest. And if you combine all these weird, wacky movesets together in the high velocity, you get something that looks like a Dragon Ball Z conducted by children fighting with their action figures and then sped up. And that is the best thing ever. That's all I've ever wanted in a fucking fighting game, a platform fighting game at that. And that really reminds me of something. It reminded me of the best fighting game ever created in this entire planet. And that game is called Fighter Maker. For those of you who already know what Fighter Maker is, you're thinking, oh God, he can't possibly be talking about, yes, And those of you who don't know what Fighter Maker is, you sweet summer child, let me show you, because it is the best fighting game ever to be created. So here we have Fighter Maker. Fighter Maker is a 1v1 fighting game where you can create your own character, and with that character you can create your own movesets, your own animations. let that just sink in for a moment, because the idea of the developers were probably pure. The intention of the developers were probably good. They had good intentions in mind. But when it comes to execution and just humans in general, if you give us too much freedom, we absolutely are going to abuse it, and in the best way possible. And this is why this is the greatest game of all time, because as you can see, someone created his own character right here, and this is his idol. Yeah, so we're gonna see them fight each other. He's fighting against a standard character right here. So he's moving frantically with his arm. He levitates himself, kicking with both legs, and then he has a victory dance. So his idol animation looks like his spine is made out of a slinky, and the rest of his body is completely solid and stiff, and he's in a perpetual state of maintaining balance at all times. That's kind of what his idol is. Now he fell through the ground, through the floor, and then he levitates vertically through the floor, and that's how he gets out. That's how he gets out. And now he slides through the floor. That's one of his moves. He spins around like a propeller with both of his legs split apart. He levitates through in the air. He flies through the character, flies out of screen, slams himself onto the floor, face planted onto the floor, and somehow he deals damage to the enemy. And now he does some janky arm movement. He's raping the enemy. He's trying to grab. And then his final blow was a robotic arm movement. Now he's doing, he has a victory move. Oh, he's jerking himself off. I can't show this, but you get the you get the gist of it. Now we have a second character that he created. Let me bring to your attention that he called his characters, one Sir Farter and the other one Kakaman. That's all I wanted to let you know. Now he's flying in the air through the area like the programming, the codes doesn't even exist. That's how he's flying around. Oh my god, I can't even. He's flying around like he's being controlled by a child. He's spinning around in the air. What is he doing? He's spinning around in the air. I mean, the other character is just being possessed and he's performing an exorcism. Whoa. He flies in reverse, kills the enemy, and then flies in the air. And now I don't even have words for this. I can't even describe what I'm even seeing. You have to see this. It's beautiful. So that is Fighter Maker. It's the best fighting game ever created. It's beautiful. These animations created by these monstrosities, these Frankenstein animations created by the players themselves. It's the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And to bring it back to Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, if you see pro players fighting Nickelodeon All Star Brawls, because these cartoon characters have wacky cartoon movements, and it's in high velocity as well because the game is really fast, it just looks like a Fighter Maker platform fighter. And that's all I ever wanted. That's why this game has so much potential. It's amazing, it's goofy, it's crazy in the best way possible. And I'm just excited and interested about this game. It makes me really glad that like platform fighters like Super Smash Bros. Is returning with bigger IPs, and they have the potential to grow in popularity, and it's what a time to be alive. Imagine, right? There's some there's some theories in quantum physics or whatever that there are the theories of the possibility of alternate and parallel universes, right? I think we're living in the best alternate universe. Like, okay, not the best. Like, there are things happening still which are not ideal. But come on, man. In the meantime, there's There's still things that I can't believe that are happening. Like the release of Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. This is a crazy timeline we're living in, truly. Like imagine a alternate universe where this didn't happen. Like the exact same timeline where Nintendo just decided we're gonna really take care of our community and be the biggest platform fighting business out there, and every other company trying to create a platform fighter is just gonna be overshadowed by the fucking colossus that Nintendo is and would be if they would take care of the community. Other companies are seeing like a hole in the market, right? They see this as an opportunity to really go deep where Nintendo didn't. And so we're going to see things, we're probably going to see more platform fighters, and we will. Because we got some news. Let's get right into the news. I got some news for you guys. The future is bright when it comes to platform fighting games. If we take a look at the Twitters around here, if we go ahead and take a look at the Twitters, we can see some interesting tweets about some new exciting leaks. So we got some exciting leaks. Let's take a look here. From the Demo Scout. In summary, there's like a possibility of a new platform fighter evolving the Warner Brothers IPs, right? So here's the tweet. New exciting leak. It appears that NetherRealm, the folks behind Mortal Kombat, are going to make their own platform fighter featuring a Warner Brothers cast. The characters that are apparently confirmed are Shaggy, the Ultra Instinct Shaggy that is using 1% of his powers at all time. The Gandalf instead of the Gandalf. Tom and Jerry, Batman, Fred Flintstone, and Mad Max. So, NetherRealm, they're going to start developing a platform fighter, including Warner Brothers, IPs, And let that just sink in. It's called Multiverses. It's going to be called Multiverses. It's like, play on words on multiverse. But let this sink in. Just think about what IPs Warner Brothers own. Warner Brothers is fucking huge. And think about all the possibilities of characters that we can have in a platform fighter like this. Okay? Think about what Warner Brothers own, for example. All the IPs. And I believe Cartoon Network is owned by Warner Brothers as well. And if you think about it, think about how many cartoons Cartoon Network has and how many characters you can have in that game. Just think about the fucking possibilities, bro. First, let me go way back in time. Way back to a 12-year-old Philip. I love Super Smash Brothers. I can play as Pikachu. I can play as Mario. I can play as Link. This game is amazing. This is awesome. And then, whenever their new Super Smash Bros. Melee comes out with new characters, wow, this is so awesome, new characters. And then, as a child, you think, what else is possible? If there are new characters, maybe it would be so cool if we could have Sonic in the game, And then later on, you also have people like, this game would be so cool if we had Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. That statement alone, and thinking about having Sonic in the game, in Super Smash Bros., would be a complete, utter, fucking insane thought, like insanity, if you would think about those things, like having Sonic in the game or having Cloud in the fucking Super Smash Bros. Game, right? It would be an absolute insane thought and statement to make, and it would be regarded as a complete joke. Yet, years later, here we are. We have fucking Sonic in a Nintendo game. We have fucking Cloud in a Nintendo game. And now, out of all characters, we have Sora in the game. Without Goofy and Donald, I'm aware, unfortunately. But I know these are Disney characters, and you know, it would be really hard to get those characters. And now even Sora, the whole Super Smash Bros. Game at this current state, I can't imagine what kind of licensing hell it must have been to get these characters in the game, like Sora, for example. And like if you watch the trailer, like showing the Mickey Mouse logo, for example, in the Keyblade, that's probably the only thing they could get away with. You know, Disney's gonna Disney. If I have here, for example, a Mickey Mouse Infinity collection figure, I don't know what you call them. Just me showing this is going to be a copyright claim by Disney, Walt Disney himself. He's going to raise out of the grave and give me a personal copyright claim just by showing it. But anyhow, Nintendo's a big boy company. They generate a lot of their revenue. They probably have the best people to take care of like licensing and copyright bullshit for their game, right? And so here we are. We have all these characters, and yet all the things that were insane, deranged thoughts are now in the game. I feel like in the end of the day, we're living in an insane timeline where everything is possible. What are the possibilities? I never would have foretold like these characters in Super Smash Bros. And I would never could have foreseen Nickelodeon All Star Brawls to even exist. And now we have the possibility of Warner Brothers IPs clashing together. As a final thought, I'm thinking, what else is possible? Why stop there? The sky is the limit. If all these things, just read this, for example. The characters that are apparently confirmed are, read this. These characters together. Shaggy, Gandalf, Tom and Jerry, Batman, Fred fucking Flintstone, Mad Max. If this is a possible reality, then what is stopping anyone to create a Disney platform fighter? If you look at Disney, they have a lot of IPs as well. They have a lot of Disney characters that they can use, a lot of cool characters that they can let fight each other. And that would be an amazing platform fighter as well. Just looking at the roster of possibilities of characters that they can add into the game as well. So if we have a Nickelodeon platform fighter, we have a Warner Brothers platform fighter, why not fucking Disney platform fighter? That would be amazing. A lot of people like Kingdom Hearts, seeing all these different characters in the levels, and you know, Disney can make their own platform fighter as well. I'm waiting for you, Disney. The ball is in your park right now, or whatever they say. I love platform fighters. I can't wait to see the possibilities. We're living in the best timeline. With some minor setbacks here and there, but still, we gotta stay positive. We gotta focus on the good things, and this is definitely good things happening in my book. And I can't wait to see what else. This is amazing. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.